Well. Here we are again. It is Rick Kamla. It is Hall of Famer Steve Alexander, a.k.a. Dr. A. We are the Fantasy NBA today and brought to you by FanDuel. We have our great producer, Andre Lamouche, with us as well. And we got a cool show planned for you. Doc, we have several bits for the people. Top 5 injury risks, top 5 load management risks, and also our dead to us list. Okay. So we got a lot to get to. I'm psyched for this show, Doc. And how you doing, man? What's up?
I'm good, man. You know, one of my favorite things about working with you throughout the years have been Rick's rants. And when you go on a rant and go off, I think people generally enjoy that. And I've just got a sneaky feeling that there could be a Rick's rant coming in the next few seconds, possibly.
Foreshadowing beautifully by our boy Dr. A. So we have a piece of news coming up here. It may or may not evoke a rant. I may just be so over it that I don't feel like ranting, and I may go into an epic one. I don't know. I just want to say before we get going here that we're going to be here all season long helping you guys win championships, okay? Just like last year, but we've taken our games like collectively here to a different level with all the stuff and all the bells and whistles at sportsethos.com, all the tremendous content and value for you guys. But we want you to subscribe to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast feed. And if you want to hang out with us live, please subscribe to the Sports Ethos YouTube channel. 2 things, 2 subscriptions, Fantasy NBA Today podcast feed, Sports Ethos YouTube channel, and you're all set. And we really appreciate you guys. Now, Doc, we get news from Memphis Grizzlies practice, and this happened recently here within the last day or so. Grizzlies team spokesperson Ja Morant suffered a sprained left ankle in practice yesterday. He is considered week to week, not day to day, not he might play tomorrow. That he's out indefinitely. This is out indefinitely. This is not the week to week means they don't freaking know. Why don't they know? You know what they don't know? They know MRIs. They know MRIs. This could be a grade 1, a grade 2, a grade 3. They know that. You know what they don't know? Actually, they do know. They know that their best player hates basketball. Okay. Why does this guy get hurt all the time, Doc? He doesn't work hard enough on his body. Why did Caitlin Clark ding 4 different body parts this year? She's not working on her body, bro. Why was Luka doughy as hell, missing games here and there for the first 4 or 5? He wasn't in good enough shape, dude. There's nothing more important than being perfectly physically fit. And they are paying you enough money to do that if you're Ja Morant. Man, I don't really feel like going to the gym today. You have to. It's your job. There's no optionality with this. All right, rant over. Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, the fact that it's week to week, there's nothing funny about guys getting injured, but it's laughable. Like, this is Ja Morant, and he's week to week. Is he ready for opening night? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. He's week to week. Will he be back by Christmas? Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
I put my Jeep in the middle of the table that he does not play on opening night. I don't know what I'm getting back for my outlay with that, but my Jeep's in the center of the table here. That again, opening night's all I'm talking about right now. He ain't playing opening night, dude. You know why, Doc? He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to play basketball. If he wanted to play basketball, he would be playing basketball. Okay? Zion Williamson actually kind of looks like he wants to play basketball this year. I think it's going to be short-lived, but I like where his head's at right now. Ja Morant, hurt already in practice, not a game, Doc.
We're talking about a game.
Not the game that I love. We're here talking about practice. You know, let me tell you a quick Caitlin Clark story, Doc. So she had 4 different injuries to 4 different body parts, right? She's out forever, out indefinitely. Guess what, dude? Guess what? She got hurt in rehab. Did you know that? That's what
No.
ended her season. She got hurt in rehab. How do you get hurt in rehab? It's unbelievable. So, does this news surprise you at all, Dr. Ray?
No.
A little bit.
No, not at all.
This is insane. Where do I have Ja Morant ranked? You know what? We're doing a live ranking adjustment here, Doc. I'm
Brought
so
to you by
over
FanDuel. Are you dumping him hard?
Why do I have these guys this high? Because I don't really like the guys below. All right, I tell you what. I'm going to give you one live ranking situation right now. Actually, two. So these guys are kind of banished to a spot where I just don't want any of them. Okay, but I'm going to move LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball just gained a spot, right? That's how bad Ja Morant is. LaMelo Ball and Kawhi Leonard now have leapfrogged Ja Morant. I'm going to put Hero above Ja Morant as well. And then Ja Morant. Ja Morant is still, I just don't feel good about this. Yeah, I'm going to leave him here. Okay. For now, there's your live ranking update here, Doc.
Brought to you by FanDuel, of course.
Morant somehow is clinging to a spot in my top 70. If I were actually in the late 60s and he was still there, I would not draft him. I can tell you right now, I'd take a sleeper over him. I'm just over it. I'm over it.
Rick, the NBA season starts 2 weeks from today, 2 weeks from Tuesday.
Good point.
If Ja Morant's week to week, there's 2 weeks in week to week. I think you're right. I think your Jeep is safe, dude. I don't think he's playing opening night.
If he was day to day, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But week to week is the team. The team is hands to God. Doc, look at me. Like Manu Ginobili back in the day. You remember Manu? I did not foul. I did not foul. There was no foul. You remember Manu always the hands out like this? I love that stuff. But that's what the Grizzlies are. I don't know. It's Ja Morant. Only God knows. Only like the train, dude. Do you know how over Ja Morant the training staff is in Memphis? Do you know how tired they are of seeing him in the training room? Oh my God, it's Ja Morant again. Here he goes. Never plays another season. Absolutely torpedoed because this guy hates the game. It's insanity. All right, let's talk beneficiaries here, Doc. We don't believe speculating that Ja Morant's going to play on opening night. Okay. At this point, I would say he misses probably the first couple of weeks. Who the hell knows? Could go longer. But, Doc, there are going to be ripple effects here. There's a couple of pretty talented and pretty good stat guy guards behind Ja Morant. So what's the pivot here?
Spicy, right? Scottie Pippen Jr. is sitting there. Ty Jerome is sitting there. Both guys who I loved last year. And now they're going to be thrown in the spotlight. I think that the rule is anytime Ja Morant is not playing, you want Scottie Pippen in your lineup. I think that's it. That's what you need to know. So I think for those first couple weeks of the season, at least, and probably on and off throughout the entire thing, Scottie Pippen's going to be a thing.
I like Scottie Pippen Jr.'s stat set, dude. He's a PRA guy. He's a steal guy. He hits threes. He's not a great player. Like he's one of these kind of like a Tyus Jonesy guy. Like he's starter-ish, bench-ish, kind of in the middle there. But I like Scottie Pippen Jr. I like his stat set. I told you last year, I'm not a huge fan of Ty Jerome's stat set. I'm just not. He's a mid-range guy. He's a driver. He's not a volume three-point shooter, not a big steal guy. He's not even a big dime guy. He's kind of like a lead guard. You know what I mean? He's trying to explore offense and hunt shots and dime a little bit. But I like Scottie Pippen Jr.'s stat set more than Ty Jerome, dude. So that's why.
I do too. I love Scottie Pippen Jr. In fact, you have to wonder at some point Memphis is going to be running Scottie Pippen out there. He's going to play every night. He's going to ball out, and they're going to be like, what are we doing here? Like, Scottie Pippen from what I saw last year was good enough to start in the NBA. So I'm not saying he should be starting over Ja Morant or that he's going to, but at some point, I think Memphis, after like 5 years of this garbage, is going to be like, why are we doing this? Why? And that's the thing with fantasy. You don't want to draft headaches. You don't want to have headaches on your roster that you have to worry about week in and week out. You don't want to deal with it. And that's all Ja Morant's going to be. Just like he is to Memphis. If he's on your fantasy team, you're going to have a huge headache.
So are you guys ready to get kind of geeked about Scottie Pippen Jr.? And we don't know who's going to start. They have two very good choices here, Pippen or Jerome. What I can tell you is that Scottie Pippen Jr. started 21 games last year. That's important. What I can also tell you is at the end of the year, under their new coach, Scottie Pippen Jr. was starting, okay, with Morant. All right. And now you have Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. You have Jalen Wells.
Right.
They're in my starting five for this team. But Scottie Pippen Jr. has a bit of a foothold on starting for this club. Ty Jerome does not. Again, that could change, but it is important. So, Doc, in starts last year, 21 of them, Scottie Pippen Jr. went 14.2 points, 4.5 rebounds, 5.7 assists. He was at almost 2 steals per game, probably 1.7. He was at a half block, and he was at 1.5 threes. And the percentages were great. 52% from the floor. Oh my God. Shot 46% from three as a starter in 21 games. Holy expletive, Batman. And he did all of that, Doc, in 26.8 minutes per game. I think we have kind of a sleeping little stud here, man. I think it's time for another live ranking update, dude.
Brought to you by FanDuel. I think that, like I said, Scottie Pippen Jr. balled out last year, and he was good enough to be a starter in the NBA. And at some point, Memphis has to look at what they're doing with their lives. But I think what I'm going to do with all this news, yesterday's show, we talked about Davion Mitchell kind of falling off the radar a little bit in Miami. I think instead of taking Davion Mitchell with my last pick, I'm going to be trying to get Pippen with one of my last couple picks in my drafts.
Scottie Pippen, Doc, is getting huge wins here. Getting huge wins. I'm moving him way up. I'm moving him up like 50 spots because guys from like 102 on, I'm just not into him. I'm just not really that into him. And that's all of them. Okay, you could find a couple guys in here. I'm mild on Aldama. I'm mild on Mathurin. I'm mild on Kada. I'm kind of mild, maybe Luke mild on Keyshawn George, right? Like I'd mess with them. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm not really that high on them. I'd rather swing for the fences with Pippen, knowing that Ja Morant hates the game. So I'm going to move Pippen all the way up to 99, Doc. And you know what? After I did my rankings on Sunday night, he was at exactly 150. He was right at 150. Last guy on my ranking, and now he's moved up 50 spots.
Did you actually move him in front of Ja Morant?
No, I did not, but I feel like I should. But it's actually too much maneuvering here live on the air to do all that. So, like I said, I moved Ja Morant down below LaMelo and below Kawhi, which is pathetic. Pathetic.
Where would we be ranking Scottie Pippen if the news was, which it's not, but if the news was Ja Morant is out for the season?
Dude, he'd be up with Peyton Pritchard and Reed Shepherd for me. He'd be that high.
Yep.
He'd be a top 60 guy.
Yep.
If that were the case. And I think he's going to be a top 60 guy when Ja's out. We just don't know what that looks like. But so this is a big win for Scottie Pippen Jr. So you and I both were on the Pippen side, not the Jerome side.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, got you. So there you go, folks.
I love Ty Jerome, but what Pippen did last year was stupid, sick. Like, it was awesome. So I think Memphis knows that they've got a stud that nobody really knows about in Scottie Pippen, and we're hopefully going to see a lot of him this year.
You know what's crazy is how different Scottie Pippen Jr.'s game is from his dad, right? His dad was a small forward, flirt with triple-double guy. I mean, I guess they have similarities PRA-wise, but Scottie Pippen Jr. is a smaller guy. Scottie obviously had great size for his position and all that. And I think of Gary Payton and his son. Like, he's a guard, but Gary Payton II could not be a bigger departure from his dad's game. His dad was 20 and 10 with 2 steals and the guy, like a top 10 player in the league every year. And his son's a role player. I just think it's cool, like the difference between the fathers and sons right there.
Maybe that's why Scotty spelled his kid's name differently than he spelled his own.
It's a good point by you. Also, you think about LeBron James and Bronny. Bronny has a completely different game, completely different skill set. Does he even have a skill set? I'm sorry. Can I not make jokes? Can I not have a joke from time to time? But he's a lot shorter, right? He's 6'2", and Bron's 6'8", and built like Karl Malone. All right, dude, let's get into our bits here, okay? Top 5 injury risk, top 5 load management risk. We'll take them one by one. Let's start with the top 5 injury risks, Doc. Here's how I'm looking at this. These are not, I'm not, like, Joel Embiid's not on my list, okay? Like, and it's cool if he's on your list. I'm focusing on guys who are either out of shape or limping into the season. So I guess, like, it's new stuff that we've so, for example, there are guys that are historically injured, right? Who are, coming into this season healthy. LaMelo Ball would be one of those guys, right? So he's not hurt right now. He's about to be, but he's not hurt right now. So I just feel like I talk about that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to get more sort of newsy with my injury risk guys.
Nuanced.
Nuanced. I'll rock with you with that too. So I just want to let you know where my mind was.
Dude, I think that's great, because when I was making my list, I was like, God, we bang on these guys all the time. It's the same old guys. These people that watch this show every single day, they're like, man, they like to talk about Anthony Davis and Luka and whoever. But my list is going to be super chalky, and all the guys you would expect to be on it, because I'm lame. And then your list is going to be more nuanced and more thinking outside the box, and you're going to be more predicting guys that may not be on the injury radar. Where I'm just talking, it was top 5 injury risks. I went with the top 5 injury risks.
Copy that. No, I mean, these guys are on these guys are on the radar. But I'll get the list started here, Doc. And the first guy I want to mention is De'Aaron Fox. I'm worried kind of about De'Aaron Fox. He was hurt last year, had to shut down the season. He had surgery, right? And I was kind of like, dude, why just play out the season and then have surgery, but cut the season short, had surgery. I wasn't really a fan of that. There's games to play. You've got plenty of time to rehab, even if you play the season out. It didn't rock that way, whatever, small complaint. But he's got the injury, not going to start this year on time. It was a huge buzzkill on media day. Oh, out of nowhere, D Fox has a hamstring injury, and he's probably, he said it with his mouth, his tongue, his brain. I'm probably not going to be out there opening night. He said that. This is a significant hammy if he's talking at me today and pretty much already ruling himself out basically a month later on opening night. It's all and again, Doc, I'm not saying I won't draft De'Aaron Fox. I have dropped him in my rankings based on this news. I still will draft De'Aaron Fox, but it's not going to be at ADP. And to me, I don't like guys bringing an injury into the season. I just freaking don't. So he's the first guy on my list.
Yeah, I probably won't draft him because I'll know it, and I'm not going to go into my draft with a list per se, but in my mind, I know he's hurt. And when it comes time to take De'Aaron Fox, I'm going to take somebody else who I know is healthy and going to play for me. And then the next guy is probably going to take De'Aaron Fox. So I'm not like intentionally not drafting him, but I can just tell you he won't be on my teams, as will most of these injured guys are not going to be on my team. I still may mess with LeBron, but Tyler Hero gone, Ja Morant, no. So it is what it is. All right. Is Mark Williams on your list?
I Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna let you do him. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go chalky. I'm gonna go Joel Embiid. Possibly the most injury-prone player we've ever seen. We haven't gotten good reports about him. We bang on him all the time here, so we don't need to probably go too deep on this. But my list is the list of guys that if you draft them, you're going to be sorry, and you're going to have a huge headache on your team, and you're going to miss a ton of games. So if Joel Embiid plays in more than 42 games this year, I will be shocked.
Okay, so I'm going to make a live rundown adjustment, Doc.
Brought to you by FanDuel.
We've been talking so much about Mark Williams lately that I'm gonna he is on my list, but I'm gonna go with a different guy. And I will come up with that guy. I want to hit you with a different name and a different.
Well,
vibe.
I do. If somebody didn't listen to the show yesterday and they're listening today, they have no idea what we're talking about. So I think it's worth at least briefly explaining what you're talking about.
So I'm gonna two-pack this one then. Not Tupac. I'm gonna two-pack it. I'm gonna give you just quickly on Mark Williams, like Doc said, because we have new audience members coming in and out a lot. He did not go live at all the entire offseason due to injury. Okay. I'm super worried about his conditioning. I already know he's not in shape. I don't even you can tell me he's been running on a treadmill and none of that matters. You haven't been going live. You're in horrible shape. Okay. You got to be in game shape. All right, we got 82 of these to play. What do you want to play? 40? That's pretty much the norm for him. So he's a huge injury risk because he was not able to go live the entire offseason. But because we've been talking about him a lot, I want to sort of give you another guy. And he's chalky. He's extremely chalky. Wait a minute. Am I stealing thunder from my next list? I am stealing thunder from my next list. All right. So, Doc, let me give you another injury risk guy here. I'm gonna give you Kobe White, Doc. I'm gonna give you Kobe White. He's hurt right now, Doc. I don't like guys who come into the season carrying an injury. All right. They don't really know when he's going to come back. I believe it's a hamstring. It's soft tissue. I don't like this. Again, right out of the gate, media day, we find out, boom, Kobe White injured. And not playing in the preseason, might not play at all in the preseason. This is how guys fall out of shape. It's a no. So again, Doc, Kobe White, I dropped him last night. I feel like I need to drop him more. But again, dude, once you start to get about mid-60s, I'll say mid-70s, it's kind of like Jared Allen, Malik Monk, right? Just guys. I don't really want them. So I've still got Kobe White as a top 70 player, but I don't feel great about it. And in the moment of truth, I'll probably let somebody else draft him. I think he's a big injury risk.
And I agree with you. When I've been doing these mock drafts and I see Kobe White's name, I don't automatically be like, no, I'm not. No, just no. But I have this like bad taste in my mouth. Like, Kobe White's hurt already. And all the attention in Chicago is now on Josh Giddey. And I just have a bad feeling about Kobe White. And I'm not going to write him off my list and say I'm not going to draft him, but I'm probably not going to draft him where somebody else is going to draft him. And he's probably not going to be on many of my teams, even though he's one of my boys. Spoiler alert, I don't think I had Kobe White as one of my guys this year. And he's traditionally one of my guys. And that injury is one of the reasons for that.
All right, dude. So who's next on your list? These are the top 5 injury risk guys heading into the season.
Well, we might as well keep it as chalky as possible. And I'm just going to say Anthony Davis. His nickname is Street Clothes. We've covered it ad nauseum. But as I said yesterday, if Kyrie Irving were healthy and playing this year, I would probably not have Anthony Davis on this list. But I think once the Mavericks realize that they aren't going to win anything, then AD's just going to stop carrying. The injuries are going to start piling up. His eyes already jacked up. He's wearing goggles. We don't know how that's going to go. I'm just staying away from Anthony Davis.
Doc, Anthony Davis is on my list as well, and it's very similar to the he's reportedly. This is why for this section I think it's important. Like, he's healthy. There's no injury for Anthony Davis right now. But did you see the picture of him? Okay, go to @Rick Kamla Sports on Twitter. Go down a little bit.
He gained like 40 pounds, right?
Bro. Do you remember those? Remember when Harden was like kind of being bratty and he's out partying? He got like a gut and stuff. Remember that? That's how Anthony Davis looks to me. He looks like Club Harden.
I saw that picture.
No, it's a no. Guys, he did not go live the entire offseason, just like Mark Williams. This is a recipe for a buzzkill year, for injuries, drop in performance. It's a no, dude. And so that's why he's here. And he's always an injury risk. We know this, but it's particularly important right now because he does not have a red flag by him. But what he does have by him is an ADP of 7, which is grossly ridiculous. It's egregious. Okay. I just don't understand.
Who has taken more L's this podcast season by you? Is it Ja Morant or is it Anthony Davis? Because I remember at the very beginning when we first started ranking, I think you had him a 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there, somewhere where ADP. And then you're like, you know what, screw that. And then like every day you just start moving him down further and further and further until you got him down to where you're not drafting him anywhere ever. Have you dropped him or Ja farther, you think?
I think
probably Ja.
Davis. I think Davis, because you're right. I probably started this process with Davis, like Doc said, mid-first round, something like that. Should I go Cade or Davis, Giannis Davis, Cat Davis, Trae Young or Davis, all that kind of stuff, right? And then I'm like, why am I playing these reindeer games? Okay. And so I started getting that unraveling, but then, Doc, we got that report, the eye surgery, and didn't go live all off season. And that's when he went, because I probably still had him at like 15 or 16, right? Like I'm fading him a little bit, still a second round guy. And then I was like, what? He didn't go live? And we didn't even see the pictures of him yet. And then when training camp begins, one of the Dallas reporters put up the side-by-side of him last year to this year, and I was like, oh my God, are you serious? This dude is Doey Davis. Dude, it's the new nickname. It's not Doey Doncic, it's Doey Davis, until proven otherwise. So, I've got Davis on my list, so we can piggyback both those guys. Let's go back to your list, bro. We're talking about the top 5 injury risks this year.
I'm going to go with the next most chalky guy there is, Paul George. He is injured right now. He had surgery. We don't know when he's going to play. Like our boy Ja Morant, Paul George is week to week, or he's probably more month to month, maybe season to season at this point.
Yep, I like that. Podcast to podcast, Doc.
Podcast like season to podcast season.
We just live our lives podcast to podcast, bro.
And then when he comes back, the Sixers are going to be out of it. They're going to be tanking. Like, we're not going to see much of Paul George this season. I don't think we're going to see much of him at all. If you end up with him on your team, I mean, don't draft him. And if nobody drafts him, then pick him up and stash him on the IR. Or pick him up if we get a report that he might play. But I'm just not expecting to see Paul George out there much this year at all.
Paul George, Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis for Doc. These are the biggest injury risk guys. I'm trying to kind of throw a curveball off of Super Chalky to just give you another like lens to look through. I've got De'Aaron Fox. We talked too much about Mark Williams, so I went Kobe White, and then I'm like Doc. I have Anthony Davis. The next guy on my list, Doc, is Alex Sarr.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And you know that he is one of the Cam-vetted homies. I updated my rankings last night, Doc, okay? And I challenged myself. Now, the reports are that the Wizards expect him to be right for opening night, okay? That's cool. That's reassuring. But we got the calf that went back to Eurobasket. and it's still buzz killing him here as he starts training camp. That's a concern. Now, Sarr has something that is keeping me locked in with him. First of all, the optimistic report from the team. Second of all, his stat set. And so he's a guy, Doc, kind of like a Darius Garland. Okay, he's not playing the first month. And I don't know that to be true. I'm just saying, let's play worst case scenario out. He ain't ready for the first month. Do I still want the next 5 months? Yes, I do. And Doc, I'm high on Sarr. If we get bad news, he'll drop. If we get some good news, signs are pointing. There's no doubt he'll be ready for opening night. He may go up 5 spots. Okay, he's a top 60 guy for me right now. But Alex Sarr, I must acknowledge, Doc, is an injury risk because he is currently battling a calf injury.
We're doing a top 5 load management risk list after this. And Alex Sarr, spoiler alert, may make an appearance over there. So actually my lists are all sort of combined. All right. So it's my turn, right?
Yes.
So my next chalky guy is LaMelo Ball. No reports of an injury right now. In fact, it's been so quiet with LaMelo that it may have lulled you to sleep and made you believe that this is the year he averages a triple-double and plays in 73 games and becomes the fantasy MVP, which he has that kind of talent. Like, that's who this guy is. But, man, it just never happens. And it all started when he started wearing those big baller shoes and his ankles started falling apart. No, I'm not really sure if it was the shoes or not. But if there is such a thing as a healthy injury risk, it's LaMelo Ball. And draft him if you want to, but I'm not touching him with a 10-foot pole. I drafted him with my first pick in the Cam Dynasty like 4 or 5 years ago. Ruined my relationship with that league, with that format, with that website it was hosted on. And it all started with LaMelo Ball. That's the kind of damage he can do.
Wow, it's a lot of damage. So what can I say, man? It's LaMelo Ball. Guys, his ADP is higher than Amen Thompson. Really? You guys rather have LaMelo Ball than Amen Thompson, knowing what we know? Have you forgotten? Have you all forgotten? I think people forget, Doc. I think they forget. It's like the off season and barbecues, the pool, going to the ocean, maybe a vacation, and they forget. Let us bring you back to the reality of 1 through 82 in the NBA. It's why we're here. Okay. You do not want this guy. Okay. You do not want this guy. He's not dedicated to this.
The other thing about LaMelo over Amen Thompson, LaMelo plays for Charlotte, who hasn't won more than 25 games since ever, I think. Like, they always suck. They always suck. They're always the worst team in the league. So what incentive does LaMelo or the Hornets have to run him out there for 70 games, even if he's fully healthy? There's none. Amen is playing for a team that people are talking about possibly winning a championship, possibly winning the West, possibly having the most improved player and maybe an MVP candidate. Like, it just doesn't add up. Like, anyone who's taking LaMelo before they're taking Amen Thompson, just good luck.
You guys, it's like that. It defies our imagination. It's so moronic. It defies our imagination. It's like you're telling us alien code right now. We're not aliens. We're humans, okay? We're not robots either. You got to check that little box, right? What we are is very smart at this thing right here. And if you're drafting LaMelo Ball over Amen Thompson, you don't have to draft Amen Thompson in round 2 if you don't want, okay? But the whole idea of LaMelo Ball over Amen Thompson is pretty crazy. Jaren Jackson Jr. is on my list, Doc. He's hurt right now. I shouldn't say he's hurt right now. He's not hurt right now. He's healthy, he's cleared, and he's ramping up. Here's my thing with Jaren Jackson Jr., who I like a lot. The blocks, the steals, the threes. It's one of the best combinations of that in the entire NBA. And I think without Bane and shoot, now that Ja's hurt, there's significant scoring upside for Jaren Jackson Jr. Could get to 24 and a half, 25 points a game. Probably won't. I think he was at 22 last year, but I think we could get a bump up even over that. So I'm drafting him. I'm relatively high on him. Like at ADP, right? I don't really want to take him north of ADP because of the injury, but I'll take him at ADP. I most definitely will. I'm obsessed with blocks. So Doc, but I had to bring him up because JJJ has had a lot of injuries. He's ramping up from an injury right now, won't start the season on time. And so we go down this road. If he's like an early third round pick, there is risk here, ladies and gentlemen. Buyer beware. But there also could be a big reward. Doc, I believe there's also end of season risk with JJJ. Memphis may turn into tank mode. Bane's not there anymore, bro. Morant never plays. What if Jaren Jackson Jr., like in February, 3-week ankle injury? Bro, we ain't seeing him again if that happens. Just saying. All right, that's my list. So my top 5 injury risks: De'Aaron Fox, Kobe White, Anthony Davis, Alex Sarr, Jaren Jackson Jr. Doc is at Embiid, Anthony Davis, Paul George, LaMelo Ball, and
I've got your guy. You know what? This guy should be on my load management list, but he's on my injured list. It's Lauri Markkanen, your guy who's never made it through 70 games in a season. I mean, there's the headline, right? He's never played 70 games in like 10 years, 8 years, whatever it is. So, not only does he tend to get injured, he also tends to get shut down. And you can pretty much count on him missing the last 30 games of the season every single year. So there you go.
All right. Embiid, Davis, George, LaMelo, and Lowry for Doc. And it certainly co-sign all of those guys. All right. Now to the load management side.
Rick, I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
On this one, why don't we just read off our teams and then talk about the guys that we haven't already really hammered?
All right, cool.
Does that make, because a lot of mine are repeats.
Okay, who's your list?
So these are load management risk guys, brought to you by FanDuel, of course. Top 5. My list, even though some of these guys are on the last one, the guys that were on the last one are Joel Embiid and Paul George, because Philadelphia is going to tank, and they're going to tank hard. So you cross those guys off. We already talked about them at length, but the other 3, Tyrese Maxey, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Alex Sarr, you've already talked about 2 of those. And I think Jaren Jackson Jr. is an injury risk, but he's also a load management risk, because if Ja's not playing and Desmond Bane is gone, is Memphis even going to be good this year? And if they're not good, Jaren Jackson Jr., especially if he's got that foot/toe, whatever it is, I'm worried about him. And then Alex Sarr plays for Washington. We know how bad they suck every year. And he could be a load management risk as well if he never really gets fully healthy.
Excellent list, man. So Doc's top 5 load management risks: Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Alex Sarr, and Jaren Jackson Jr.
And I didn't talk about Maxey, so I'll just say this real quickly. If you paid attention last year, you know that Embiid and George were messed up all year. Sixers end up tanking to protect their draft pick, and they took Maxey with them. And he did not play the second half of last season. He was a bust. If you drafted him, it totally crushed your spirit. They're in the same boat this year. Embiid's banged up. Paul George is MIA season to season. And Maxey, do they want to run Maxey out there in the prime of his career to win 22 games and not make the playoffs? So I think he's a big league load management risk.
All right, my friend. So my list is, and I'll take these one by one and give you a little spiel here. Kristaps Porzingis. I think some people are. How do I want to say this? I don't know. I think there might be optimism here. New team is in Atlanta. There's buzz around Atlanta. He's still got a really, really strong ADP. Like, you guys are drafting Porzingis as if like there's really it's 61. And I mean, I realize that his per game value is higher than that, but 61 ADP for Kristaps Porzingis with all of the risk. I mean, guys, there is a greater chance that he plays less than half the games than there is a chance of him playing more than half the games. I think if we're playing odds and percentages here, the percentages are more in favor of less games, not more games. Okay. So, and obviously, is he going to play in back-to-backs? You have a Kongwu there. You have all that kind of stuff. And he's in Atlanta, right? It's not a grindy market. It's just not. It's compared to New York and Chicago and LA and like the Boston, Philly. It's just not as hard. I'll put it that way. I wouldn't call it soft, but it's not nearly as hard. And I'm talking about fans and media and expectations and pressure. Okay. Sometimes that stuff leads to more games played by guys, to wit, New York Knicks. Okay. The entire city up there is like, you're going to play. I mean, they're all looking at you. Are you playing? Like 10 million people are looking at you, arms crossed, like with a pissed look on their face. Okay. It's different up there. In Atlanta, it's like, Porzingis ain't playing tonight. Well, that's cool. We have a Kongwu, right? It's just move on to the next. It's a totally different mindset. But that could like cool him out too. All right, I can just kind of show up when, kind of like the Boston years when he barely played at all. So Porzingis, huge load management risk for the Atlanta Hawks. And I know that it's chalky and you might be saying, duh, but I bring it up because his ADP is at 61. It's not a duh if his ADP is 61. If the Zinger's ADP was 80, he wouldn't be on this list. To me, that's like more appropriate based on, the risk involved here. I mean, I have Porzingis in the 100s, okay? In the 100s. He will not be on any of my teams. Kawhi Leonard, Doc, and I noticed that Kawhi Leonard was not on your top load management risk team. And this is why I bring it up. Because we got to play both sides here. You are high as heck and bullish on the LA Clippers. I am not. Okay. And I know that you've got a little tickle on Kawhi Leonard this year. I do not. And so I just want to play both sides here with that. But he is the Doc. What's the word here? He's the name on the marquee of load management. He's the guy. Joel Embiid. The godfather of load management. He's the guy. I mean, Joel Embiid clearly but he's not the godfather of it. Kawhi, dude, the NBA changed their policy because of Kawhi Leonard. How you report injuries, how much tanking or how much load management you can do and not do. Like the league investigated him, bro. They did. And the Clippers and actually, maybe they didn't investigate them. I got to check up on that. But I know that Kawhi Leonard created some new policies from the league office with he's going to play, at the last second you pull him out, like all of that chicanery. The league office was over it, bro.
Yeah. And now Kawhi Leonard's being investigated for a completely different thing.
Good
money
point.
And companies and contracts and
salary cap circumvention. What?
Salary cap circumvention. So I don't know how that's going to end up. Hopefully it doesn't end up hurting Kawhi. I think it might cost the Clippers some stuff, but I mean, there's no doubt, dude. I mean, I've been as hard on Kawhi as anybody for the last 5 years, but I really liked what he did last season in the second half. And as badly as I wanted to put Kawhi and Jimmy Butler on these, what I'm just going to call negativity lists, like this is a gloom and doom podcast, like the most injured guys, the most load managed guys, and the dead to us guys. Like it just goes like it's doom and gloom. But I don't have Kawhi Leonard on any of my doom and gloom lists. So I just like the way he got out there and played every night second half of last season. I think he wants to put this whole godfather of load management reputation name tag that he wears behind him and come out and ball out for another season or two. So I like his ADP. I don't know exactly where it is.
It's 48. You still like it?
I mean, I don't really want to take him
End of the fourth round.
In the fourth round. That's not my ADP.
Well,
I think if I can get him in the 6th or 7th round, I think he's worth the gamble.
There's a lot of people out there that take names. They don't take history. They don't take games played. They don't take on trust. They just take on names, man. That's how LaMelo Ball's high. That's how Kawhi is still high. That's how Embiid is still ADP, a top 50 guy. Y'all, and I know a lot of you guys are very, very astute, but to the audience members out there watching the Fantasy NBA today, brought to you by FanDuel, this is why we're here. And we talk passionately and we're intense and stuff like that, but we're friends. We're all a community here. There's just we get spicy from time to time. It's just the way it is, but it's because we're so darn passionate about this. But
Rick, in that ESPN,
let me just make this point real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Don't draft the name. Never, ever do that. Draft the stats, okay? A lot of people. Dude, you go down ADP, Doc. I mean, there's guy after guy after guy. Tyler Hero at 46. Do you have any idea when he's going to play? What are you doing with that? Jarrett Allen at 52. Oh, my God, is he overrated? He's so bland. Oh, in the 50. So, and he's not like an injury risk guy. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Doc. I lost my train of thought.
No, you're good, man. I'm sorry that I interrupted you, but I was just going to say in that the last expert mock I did over at ESPN, Kawhi Leonard went 87th.
That's more like it.
To me, if you get Kawhi Leonard at 87 and he happens to play in 63 games and plays anything like he played last year, it's a winning pick.
Bro, at that spot, I'll take 50 games from Kawhi Leonard. At that spot.
You know who went directly after him was Lauri Markkanen. And then your guy, Nick Claxton, and then Paul George.
The Sharps are on Nick Claxton, dude. The Sharps are on Nick Claxton. We see the renaissance. We do. We see the renaissance with Nicky Claxton. All right. So I got three more guys on my list here, Doc. Joel Embiid has to be on this list, and so he is. You had him on yours as well. I tried to go as like non-chalky as possible, but for the load management thing, kind of is what it is. Kawhi Leonard's the godfather of it. I thought at least one of us had to have him on. I know a lot of you were high on Porzingis, so I wanted to bang on him. The Embiid thing is just abundantly obvious. An ADP in the top 50 is grossly inaccurate. Don't do it. For the love of God, don't do it. He will ruin your team. You're going to be the people sending us comments during the season. You guys were so right about Embiid. I'm so pissed at myself for drafting him. So don't do it. It's super easy. But don't draft Jarrett Allen either. Okay, there's so many better centers. Jarrett, I'm sorry, it's not personal. It's fantasy business. Jalen Suggs, Doc. Jalen Suggs to me is a load management candidate here. The team has said that they're targeting opening night for his return, which means they don't really know. Okay, he's coming into the season rehabbing this injury, still not fully ready to go. I see DNPs. I do. And you look at the back of his basketball card. What do you see? DNPs. And then finally, Doc, is MPJ, Michael Porter Jr. It is going to be so easy for this team when they're 5-25. Oh, Michael Porter Jr., a little back tweak. Uh-oh. And I hope this doesn't happen. I do. But if it does, we're never going to see him again. Okay. You remember the Cam Thomas experience last year, early in the year, playing pretty well. All of a sudden, injury. I think we saw him again for a week and they shut him back down. It was something like that. Why would Brooklyn operate any differently? They have 5 rookies on the team. This team, they're the worst team in basketball, and it's not close. They're going to make Washington and Utah look like entertaining teams. That's how bad Brooklyn is this year, folks. And so I see a ton of DNPs from Michael Porter Jr., and he has an ADP, Doc, in the top 60. Okay. name value. They're drafting the name. Michael Porter Jr. has a relatively big name, right? They're drafting the name, not the stats. And I think it's going to be a big mistake by them.
Nice. Good stuff. That's your whole list, isn't it?
It's my whole list, dude. Emptied it. So Doc's list, these are the load management risks. Embiid, George, Maxey, Sarr, JJJ. My load management risk, Porzingis, Kawhi, Embiid, Suggs, and Michael Porter Jr. Now, Doc, as we move on to the dead to us list, this is what this concept means to me. There's a big difference between dead to me and I'm out this year. Okay. There are 3 stages of life as a fantasy player for me. Okay. You're alive, which means I will draft you. Okay. Matas Buzelis is alive. Okay. You're undead. Okay. Which means I don't really want you, but you could win me back. Okay. Like we're in a probationary period. Jalen Johnson falls into the undead. Okay. Dead to me is Kawhi Leonard, Joel Embiid, Paul George, guys like that. All right. Very, very established game missers who have driven me crazy for years, and they have brought me to a point of a complete divorce. Okay. Like they're dead to me. I just want they can live a prosperous life. I hope they live a long, prosperous life. But in fantasy, I will never, ever do business with them again. So that's how I look at this list. How about you, Doc?
That's pretty much how I look at this list. I think I could have come up with a lot more than 5 guys. And I tried to mix things up a little bit and get some different guys on my list than we already talked about. And I did that somewhat. I'm just making a last minute tweak to this thing. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Ready to unveil my dead to me list.
So for the injury risk one, I tried to go more newsworthy, more like fresh news, right? Stuff that's recently come out. For the load management one, I guess it was a blend of circumstances and history, right? For this one right here, Doc, okay, it just is what it is. Like I can't get creative with this list. You're either dead to me or you're alive or undead. And you see what I'm saying? So there wasn't like an editorial slant to this. I went through my 150. So there may be other guys beyond my 150 that are dead to me too, but I don't care about them, right? You're not even in my 150, so who cares? I have 11 guys in my top 150 who are dead to me. 11 guys that I will not draft under any circumstance. People are like, well, then why do you even have them ranked? It's actually a good question. But to have a top 50 without Paul George somewhere in there just doesn't feel right, right?
No, to have a top 150 without Anthony Davis in there, it feels wrong.
You just can't do it. And to be like, Doc, I want to make something. Actually, forget that. I was getting jumbled with my thoughts. Okay. Do you want to go every other? Yeah, let's go every other here. So let's start with these lists. Give me, this is the dead to us list. And Doc, hit us first.
I'm just going to go with Zion Williamson. I drafted him in 30 deep one year with my first pick. It was like pick 18, maybe. Absolute disaster, as you could probably imagine. As I said in another show, maybe yesterday, he's not even good at fantasy when he's healthy and good at fantasy. Like, he's just not that good.
He's all right, dude. His PRA is pretty studly. Zion's all right, dude.
No threes, no blocks. He's kind of a big man. I see his name, and like Smokey and the Bandit 2, when Sheriff Buford T. Justice hears the word bandit, his beeper goes off, his heart monitor, and he has to go home, and like bring it back down. That's how I am when I see Zion's name on a draft board. I just can't do it. I will never be able to do it again.
So give me your list, and then I'll cross-reference it with my list, and let's be efficient about this. So you got Zion. Who else you got on your dead to you list?
Somebody you don't have is Jimmy Butler.
That's a good point.
I've got LaMelo Ball. I can never do that again. I've got your guy, Kristaps Porzingis, and I've got my ex guy. We broke up, Cam Thomas.
Oh, Cam Thomas. So that's it. You get those are the only guys.
Well, I mean, I only did 5. I mean, I could have come up probably with 20.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. Cam Thomas, dead to you. It's strong. So are you saying you would never, ever draft him again?
Well, you said at the beginning, this is not about a 1-year thing. And after last year, I decided that I was way too high on Cam Thomas from a fantasy perspective because all he does is score. Like there's almost no goodies that come along with those points. And while scoring does have some value, it's just not worth it. And Cam Thomas has had a weird career, right? Like he's never been a big name. He's never been the man. He's always just sort of like blown up every time they give him minutes, but he's never been like a coveted guy. So he's just weird. And I just don't think I need him messing up my fantasy teams with his non contributions other than points.
So here is the dead to me list. Again, 11 of my top 150 dead to me. And this is hardcore. I'm never drafting them again. Why? Trial and error, being let down, having my heart broken. I'm at the altar about to win a championship and they don't play. And that stuff sticks with you. Okay. And again, last year, last run with me and Ja Morant and Zion Williamson. You guys know I was high on both of them coming into last year. And they both, humiliated me in front of God and millions. Okay. I still won chips in leagues where I had these two clowns. Okay. But I said, that's it. Never again. So they're the poster childs for this. Ja Morant and Zion Williamson. LaMelo Ball clearly is dead to me. We'll never draft him again. Kawhi Leonard is on this list. And I really, really like Kawhi. I do. I love the resume. I think he's a cool dude. I like how, I don't like the exterior, like his teammates say he's a joker and like he's funny as hell, but then he's with the media. He's like, we played hard last night. I got some good looks. Right, that's all he says. This guy does not want anything to do with State Farm, right? Or ads or fame or any of that. He just wants to hoop, dude, and go back to his family. But Kawhi, I love you, but you're dead to me in fantasy ball. Lauri Markkanen and Doc. He's been dead to me ever since he went to Utah. He was dead to me. And so Markkanen on there. Kristaps Porzingis. Look at the back of the basketball card. It's a joke. It's the game's played. I know the stats are good. The guy never plays. If a guy like LaMelo Ball, stat line's phenomenal, right? It is literally phenomenal, and it's fool's gold. You're not looking at the right number. Go on basketballreference.com over to the left. Okay. GP, look down. You're welcome. Joel Embiid, dead to me. Never draft him again under any circumstances. That's been the case for a while. Oh, this guy right here. This guy is the softest player in the NBA. Number one, the softest guy. And I'm not talking about Ja. I'm not talking about LaMelo. Who am I talking about, Doc? The softest guy in the league.
I know who it is, and I can't think of it because you said it before. I'd have to go team by team in my head to come up with it. Yeah. I know it. I just can't. I can't get it.
It's Brandon Ingram. And I now have a fight on my hands with Andre Lamouche, but it's Brandon Ingram. He's booing me right now. I love that. I will die on that hill. He is the softest dude in the NBA. He finds ways not to play. So he's dead to me. Paul George, dead to me.
I didn't mention Paul George, but if I was going to make a list of ranked dead to me guys, I think Paul George would probably be number one. I'm still really mad at Paul George.
And mad at yourself because you knew the mistake right when you made it. So Bradley Beal is on my list, dead to me. Been dead to me for a while. Golly, I was so happy to trade him away in Cam Dynasty. And it was kind of an involved trade. Bona was in it, a second round pick was in it, and I got me some Desmond Bane. I was able to turn Beal and a couple of other assets into a premium asset, and that was fun. D'Angelo Russell, Doc, is the last guy. So it's D'Angelo Russell, Bradley Beal, Paul George, Brandon Ingram, Joel Embiid, Kristaps Porzingis, Lauri Markkanen, Zion, LaMelo, Morant, Kawhi. You got some big names in here. You got some big stats in here, and these guys never play. So 11 of my top 150 dead to me. Will not draft them. Divorced, like I am from 2 wives, like I am, Doc, from the Minnesota Vikings.
The only guys on your list that I would not have necessarily had on my list would have been Kawhi Leonard and D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell just hasn't done enough to make me mad. And Kawhi Leonard, I just feel like last year was the comeback trail, and this year is going to be like, I mean, I could be wrong, but I hope he plays out the whole season. Another guy I was just looking through here. I'm not necessarily mad at him, but I would never draft Julius Randle. I can't imagine a scenario where I would draft Julius Randle. I thought DeAndre Ayton would be on my dead to me team. He's not.
Interesting. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. I've got 2 guys, Doc. I wrote down 2 guys that are on life support. Okay. And it's a bit of a dark visual or whatever, but 2 guys are on life support right now. Like, you keep doing this to me and you will make the dead to me list. It's Jalen Suggs and Jalen Johnson. And I love them both. I freaking love them both. But if you do this to me again, you'll make it. So it's the 3-strike rule for Jalen Johnson. The count's 0-2 right now, but see, Doc, now he's a right-handed batter. Okay. He can't hit the low outside pitch. I'm going to slurve him, dude. Low and outside, just off the black. He's going to wave that bat at it. I'm in anyway. None of that matters. I hope Jalen Johnson plays 75 games this year, and it's certainly possible. But what I know about Jalen Johnson, Doc, from the moment he started playing big minutes in the NBA, the injuries started. Okay. Look at his like little ascension up. Didn't play like first year, barely played second year. And as soon as the playing time started to ratchet up, he got hurt and stayed hurt. Okay. I'm not ready to call him soft. I'm just saying he's on probation with me. This may be how Andre gets Jalen Johnson off my team. Week 3, Jalen Johnson turned his ankle. Andre comes hollering at me about a trade. And at that point, I might be ready, Andre, but I'm not right now.
I'm not going to put Jalen Johnson on life support because even if he got hurt again this year, 2 years from now, I'm not gonna guarantee you I'm not gonna be getting back into the Jalen Johnson game. It's because I like him and I don't have ill will towards him yet. And hopefully we don't. But I don't want to say never again and then come back 2 years from now and want to be hyping up Jalen Johnson.
It's fair. It's fair. I'm just saying he's on life support for me with and these are 2 of the homies, Jalen Suggs. I love Jalen Suggs, but dude, come on, let's play. Let's go. FanDuel Player Specials. Go to FanDuel.com. You can wager on these or invest in these. These are futures, long-term plays that will go the whole season, but gives you something fun to track. And a lot of these are great investments. If you can just hit that sweet spot, you nail the dude, you get in at the right time, you get some big plus odds here, and it can be a really nice money-making opportunity for you. So leading the league in rebounding, Domantas Sabonis is at plus 180. Nikola Jokic is at a plus 350. Walker Kessler a plus 650. Zubats is at a plus 1,000. Karl Anthony Towns at a plus 1,000 and Giannis at a plus 1,500. Let me give you a little bit of context here, guys. Going to last year's leaders, Sabonis crushed the league. Okay, he was at 13.9. Pardon me, 13.9. Cat was next to 12.8. Jokic 12.7. Zubats 12.6. Kessler 12.2. So, Doc, what looks good for you on that board?
I like Kessler at plus 650. I think he should get more minutes this year. And they jerked him around 2 seasons ago. Last season was better. This season, I hope he comes into his own and Utah uses him correctly. And he gets enough minutes to lead the league in rebounds. I think he might. And then the one I don't like is Zubac, just because we've talked about it over and over again. He played way too many minutes last year. Brook Lopez was not there. There was nobody there to back him up last year. So he just played ridiculous minutes. I find it almost impossible to envision him leading the league in rebounds this year.
I agree with that. To me, this is one that you should not overthink. This one is obvious. For me, Domantas Sabonis is the play and the only play here. At a plus 180, still decent odds, not great, but it could be flat. These odds could be flat. It could be minus 115, okay, or plus 115, which is flat, which means you don't really get much bang. You just kind of a dollar for dollar payout. You're almost doubling your money here. All right. So, and by the way, these odds are going to shrink. They are. They're not going to expand. Guys, Sabonis led the league in rebounding last year by 1.1 rebounds per game. That's a huge gap. All right. Nobody was even in his stratosphere. Nobody was even at 13 rebounds. Okay. He has led the league in rebounding 3 straight years, 3 years in a row. Why would anything change with that? Okay, he gets hurt and doesn't play 65. I get it. That's a possibility for every single player, but I'm not going to compute that in here. He's not a game misser, first of all. And I don't know. You got to play it straight with him. He's healthier right now. So it looks like he's going to play the games to qualify. And he should comfortably lead the league in rebounding again, where you really don't even have to sweat this out. You just got to wait till the end of the year to go to the window with your little ticket, and then you're going to leave with fistfuls of money on Sabonis to lead the league in rebounding. Doc, any final comments for the people, my friend?
I don't think so. I think we covered a lot of ground here. That whole those FanDuel Player Specials are brought to you, obviously, by FanDuel. Good points on Sabonis. I didn't really do my homework on that one as much. So, yeah. And then just Rick, tell the people, come play fantasy hoops with us. Join the leagues, man. Send Andre a note.
Send Andre a note. Andre's going to get you in leagues with us, okay? And spots are filling up, so there's some demand here, okay? Support at sportsethos.com. Support, SUPPORT, at sportsethos.com. Simple. Andre will get that. And, if you get in at the right time and stuff like that, he'll get you in a league, and then we'll play. Doc and I and Aaron Brewski, Mike Passador, Andre, and our whole crew, we're not going to be in, like, every league with you, right? But you'll be in a league with Pass. You'll be in a league with Doc. You'll be in a league maybe with me and Brew. I don't know how all that's going to look, but that's how it's going to go. But we want to ball with you and compete against you guys, and obviously have fun. That's the bottom line here. Please download our app. Go to your app store. The Sports Ethos app is amazing, and it's free. And go to sportsethos.com. The B150 is out. It's a subscription-only piece. And by subscription is how you're going to read my Pop Players article that went live last week. And that's how you're going to read Doc's My Guys article that goes live on Thursday. So please go to sportsethos.com. We have the best fantasy content in the business. And that's football, baseball, and basketball. But you know how we roll here with basketball. You got the inventor. You got Doc, the godfather of this thing. It doesn't go higher than what you're dealing with right now. So we really appreciate you guys out there. Retweet this on your timelines. Let them all know that Cam and Doc and Brew and the whole gang are blasting about fantasy basketball at the highest level possible. This is the Fantasy NBA Today, brought to you by FanDuel, and we'll see you soon.